Hi, and welcome to Gentle Yoga. You are going to need a mat and potentially a block. This is a 45-minute class. You are going to be doing some sun salutations, some standing strength, some balance work, hip opening, twists, and forward fold hamstring stretching with me today. So class is exactly 45 minutes, so go ahead and get yourself ready, and we are going to get started. Virtual land. Down. You might need some water. I'm going to take my water over here. We're going to start on our backs today. Have a jacket in case I get cold at the end. And we're going to start an extended butterfly. So bringing our feet together, taking our arms up overhead, and just folding one arm into the other. I didn't introduce myself, but my name is Danya. It's like Tanya, but with a D. And it looks like Danya. But I answered almost anything. Thanks, Mom. Take a big breath in through the nose. Open the mouth and sigh. Do that once again. Take a big breath in and sigh. And now close your mouth. And you know what? If it doesn't feel good to fold your arms up overhead, or don't feel trapped in your shoulders, but go ahead and close your mouth now and just start to breathe in and out of the nose. And I want you to focus on the breath. So as you breathe, we're breathing in such a way that it's a hot breath coming out. So there's sound to it. We're breathing in and out of the nose. And if you've taken my class before, I had an instructor compare it to Darth Vader breathing once, and I just really like that phraseology. So just finding that breath. Let's take one more breath together. And as you do that, open your eyes. If you've got them closed, we're going to bring our knees up. We're going to hug our knees into our chest. Maybe give the hips a little bit of a rock from side to side. And then we're just going to roll up today. I'm going to sit facing you. And I want you to just kind of sit as comfortable as you can. And we're going to take our right ear, let's say left ear to left shoulder. I forget sometimes which way the camera records because doing some platforms flips you backwards. I'm going to say left ear to left shoulder and just kind of gently pulling on the head just to get some stretch through the left side of our neck. Right side of our neck, I'm sorry. Did it again. And then switching sides, right ear to right shoulder. Kind of relaxing down. Harboring a lot of tension lately. Can't imagine why. Take a big breath in, and as you breathe out, I want you to tuck the chin, and we're just going to round the back to the wall behind us. And lift the chest. Take the eyes up and breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. Just kind of a seated cat-cow today. And one more time, big breath in. And big breath out. in the chest. We're going to twist toward the right side of our body. Just kind of use that left arm for leverage. Reach the right fingertips back to the floor and look back over the right shoulder. Not a deep twist at this point, but we do want to put some movement into the spine. Take a big breath in and out. And let's just switch sides. We're just creating some movement through the body. It's noon for this class here in Tennessee. And so we've been awake for a little while. I'll be honest, I got up and did early clients this morning, and then I went back to bed. Got the boys up for school, and then I went back to bed again. Just really tired, but I feel better now that I got some sleep. We're going to come up into a forward fold. So just bring yourself up. Or toes need pedicures. How about you? Soften the knees. I feel like I should timestamp this video with we are in the middle of stay-at-home orders, COVID-19 in the United States. We're going to roll all the way up. Breathe up. Lean to the right. Breathe in and out. Lean to the left. Even if I have disappeared on the screen, arm wife, just kind of do what you need to do here. Breathe in, reach back, squeeze butt. And then we're just going to come forward into fold. I'm going to just turn on my mat. Bring hands to shins. Straighten the back. Lift the chest. Breathe in. And then soften down. Breathe out. We're going to step back into a down dog. So if you're a little bit more advanced, you can always take things higher. I'm going to stay pretty low today as this is a gentle yoga class. But we are doing down dog. If you need something lower, you can come to hands and knees, or you can even come into child's pose. Go ahead and pedal the heels out here. Great big breath in, great big breath out. Take both heels down and back. And then coming forward into a plank position, go ahead and drop the knees down. Bring the chest just above the floor. And then squeeze the butt, pull the elbows and shoulders back into a baby cobra. And then drop the head toward the floor. And with a big breath, lift into a cobra. And just stay for a minute. Breathe into the squeeze butt. If this bothers your back at all, you just need to go back into that baby cobra that we started with, okay? Taking hips up and back. We're going to walk forward into fold. Rise up. So bending the knees, keep the back safe. Breathe in as you come up. Breathe out as you fold. Keeping our belly button pulled on to keep our back safe. Legs are soft bend. I know I've got some culottes on today. We're at laundry day is what's happened at my house. You would think I'd be keeping up with the laundry. No, still don't like it, even amidst a stay-at-home order. Come forward into plank. You can stay on your toes if you want. I'm going to hang everything gentle today, so coming down. And then either coming into baby cobra or full cobra. If you are more advanced, you can push into an up dog, which means our thighs are completely off the ground, just like this. I'm going to stay low today. Squeeze butt. Breathe out, press back, walk feet forward. Big inhale up, exhale, fold. Bring hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Step back to down dog. Inhale forward into plank. Bring those knees down. Exhale. And then inhale, straighten. Lift tall through the neck here. Squeeze the butt and breathe. Go up and back. Walk feet forward. Inhale up. And exhale. Coming down. Stepping back to down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, modified chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Down dog. Walk feet forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale. Bring hands behind you. If you can't quite clasp, just kind of bring the palms to the back. But if you can, clasping hands, and see if you can lift them off the back. Just breathe into that. Opening chest. And then coming across the front. We're going to do the same thing. Just tucking the chin, peeling the shoulder blades, and then bring palms together. Breathe in. Breathe out to mountain. Keeping our left leg forward. We're going to press in. Come into warrior two. So we're just lining up knee over toe. The back leg, the wedge of the foot is driven into the ground. We don't want our knee to come past our toes here. And ideally, we've got our knee over our ankle. If you need a little bit of a shallower bend, you can do this. If you want to get some work in, just kind of press into the depth. Working where you are today, and just be okay with where you are today. Have your block handy. We're going to be using it for triangle today. Doing really basic asana work today. Reach out, see if you can hover. Just give yourself some core engagement right here. And then extend forearm to thigh. And then just make sure we're not collapsing into this. Stay strong. All of this should be very engaged. You should be able to reach down and poke your belly, feel engagement. And see if you can twist open toward the ceiling. Breathe into this. Pressing up and back, we're going to go into a reverse warrior or sun warrior. So you stay here. Take a moment to think about this leg and make sure it's not wobbling toward the big toe. Just breathe. Sorry about my son being loud if you can hear him. We are in the throes of online schooling. Straighten the leg. I'm going to use my block today. You do not have to. Or if you've got a chair handy but don't have a block, that's fine as well. Straighten the leg. Press up and breathe in. Think about taking the hips out and back toward the short side of your mat. So pressing down and up almost. By pressing down, the hip comes up. You can look up or you can look down. Whatever feels good for you today. Softening that knee. Coming back up. Go ahead and shake the legs out. And whichever way you want to, we're going to change the front leg. So right leg forward now. In my block with me. Setting up warrior 2. Settle in. Press toward the knee. Drive it toward the baby toe. Tall necks. Breathe. Reach out. Bend. And stay there. You guys stay in that. Twisting open toward the ceiling. How's your breathing? Live video recordings at home is such an adventure. Reach up and back, Sun Warrior. Just reaching that arm up. And then mentally, thinking about that leg down here. Breathe into that. How are we doing? Stay with it. You're doing great. Oh, we're here. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. We're going to come down into triangle. I was addition to triangle. Coming down to your block if you've got it. You may feel almost a chiropractic adjustment happening in your low back here. That's normal. This is actually great for hip alignment and some release of the nitrogen that builds up. Find where you want to gaze. Soften the knee. Come up. Shake it out. Whew. How'd you do? Did you do good? I'm going to move the camera up just a little bit. So we're going to do tree pose, which we've been working on. So go ahead and put all of your weight into your left foot. The right leg, you can put it above the knee, below the knee, or kickstand, hands to heart center. Just make sure that our shoulders are very much straight. So I have a tendency to just automatically shift my hips over toward that hip of those straight legs. So you got to really squeeze the butt, pull that in. And I'm going to stay low in the gentle option today. Finding your breath. Staying with this. Breathing in and out. If you've not met my dog, that one's Goldie. She's the softest dog I've ever owned. She's so much fun to pet. We're going to open the arms, just opening your heart, and just challenge yourself. If you feel safe, take your gaze up. We're going to take the leg that is up and just barely cross it over. We're going to go into eagle legs. So just turn the knee forward. Soften the standing leg. You should have your right leg on top. If your right leg's on top, your right arm is going to go on bottom. If that's not feasible today, you're just going to hug yourself and get a shoulder and upper back stretch that way. Just stay and breathe. This is called Eagle. And we're going to add a big upper back stretch today. Healing shoulder blades, rounding and coming forward. Open. Shake out the legs. So I found this wonderful channel on YouTube. It is live quarantine spa music. And it's what we're listening to today, and it plays 24/7. Home music. So if you want something that's just kind of mood setting, that's where we're at. Going into tree on the other leg now. Bringing the hands to heart center. Remember your options. Remember to squeeze into that good position. We want our hip bones even with each other, parallel to the floor. And our breath is moving. Open your heart. Manage the balance. Anytime you increase the length of the lever, balance is harder. It's why you'll see gymnasts roll up into the ball. A lot of the flipping work, because that keeps them more balanced, more compact. Release the arms down. We're going to shift into eagle's legs. So pushing that knee forward. Soft knee. If your left leg is on top, your left arm is on bottom. Remember the option of the hug. Stay and breathe. And just opening through upper back. Release. Take your legs out. And we're going to do a double-footed balance. It's always good to just re-engage the stabilizing muscles that are in our ankles. We're just going to lift both heels. And we're doing a V for victory. Just a joyous position, just embracing all the good things that are going to come today. We still have an entire day ahead of us. And it's going to be amazing. You're going to do a great job. Bring it down. Go ahead and have a seat on your bottom. We're going to stack right leg on top, left leg on bottom. So we're going to do some hip opening work today. Sits bones need to be on the ground. If that right leg one is trying to lift up, just set that down on the ground. Our sits bones being on the ground are more important. Another option is to stack it up on the block just to start to train it. And I do have one client that puts padding up under her ankles as well. If you've got tender ankles or tender knees, always be mindful of that and just be kind to your body. It's important to move it. It's also important to move it where it is and be okay with where it is. We're going to breathe in, reach up, hinge forward, breathe out, coming down. This is another place where the block may come in handy to help relax you. If you find that it's really hard to get to the floor, That will give you somewhere to put your hands. So I'm going to stay with this today. Breathing. So where you feel it is where you're tight. You may feel it in your right hip. You may feel it in your lower back. And that is your body just letting you know that you've got nice firm muscles. Breathing into that, submitting to this, letting gravity do what it does, and just letting go. Bring the upper body back up. We're going to add a twist to this, like we did at the beginning. We're twisting to the right, bringing the right hand down to the floor behind you, even if it's just fingertips. Lift the chest and look back. Breathe into this. Excuse me. So I made homemade tortillas yesterday and I tried something new and it worked really well. Turning back to the front, we're going to C shape toward the right. You can bring your elbow all the way to the ground if your left hip will stay on the ground. But I did not have the time to, we needed to go to the store and get tortillas and I'm just trying to only do grocery pickup right now. And so I decided to mix them in the bread machine. Just over the bread machine, put it on the dough cycle. If you've never done that, that worked wonderful. And then it only took me about 15 minutes to roll out and cook the tortillas because they only take about 1 minute on each side to really cook. And I used coconut oil and whole wheat flour, still really soft, delicious tortillas. All right, coming up out of that, we're going to take this top leg out straight. And I'm going to show you how I use the block here as well today. We're bringing, this should be your right leg out straight. Your right hand goes on the ground or on the block, and your left hand comes up and over, finding your maximum stretch. This is my kitty BB-8. It was zoo. I've never been able to keep hamsters and rodents alive, and it's not because of the cats. They just die. I'm not sure. And fish. But we can keep dogs and cats alive forever. He's a sweet kitty. He's probably one of the sweetest I've ever owned. I say that, and he's probably headed over there to play and knock you down. So funny. All right. We're going to turn toward this leg, and I want you to pull the hip back so that it causes our belly to be over the line of this chest, and we're reaching out for this foot. This is, again, a spot where you can train with a block. You can, if it's not a big enough reach to reach for the foot, you can actually make it a bigger reach by putting the block to the outside. Or if you can't quite get to the foot, the block can go here and just kind of help that along, as long as that's comfortable. If you've got really sensitive calves, that might not be comfortable. But today I'm just going to reach out for my toes. We're just going to stay and breathe. We've got about 3 more breaths here. Try not to notice your lack of pedicure, unless you're just really good at that at home. You guys are doing great. Come up. We're going to take this leg out, and we're just switching the leg now. We will get to the lotus work, I promise. Hand to block. Reach up and over. Finding your level of stretch. All right. Bringing our hands on either side of this leg. We're going to walk the hip back. Reaching out. Remember, you can utilize the block. Just finding your point of stretch. And then just connect your breath with this. Breathing in and breathing out. I'm going to have this. We're going to stack this leg either in front or on top. You do whichever's the best for you. Very different from one side to the other. And we're going to go directly into that twist. So looking back over the shoulder, lifting the chest, using that leg for leverage. Breathe. And then we're coming into our C shape. So you're level. You can bring the elbow all the way down as long as that right hip bone stays on the ground, that right hip bone, right sits bone. If your hip bone's on the ground, gravity's taking things a little too far. Not good. Breathe and coming back up. Then getting into that gravity here. Remember your options. The block can be right here, wherever you want it to be. Sometimes just having something to touch does a tremendous amount of good for our ability to relax. All right. Go ahead and roll to your back. We're going to start some hamstring stretching. Hug your knees into your chest. Ooh, I might have gone out of picture. No, I think I put the whole matted frame. So if you've taken my class since we've been doing virtual, this is one of my dad's paintings. It's called Guardians of the Sun. It's one of my favorites, and this was a print that somebody gave me. That is one of the only prints that my dad authenticated, not just with a certificate of authentication, but with his signature on the back as well as the front. And he passed away 4 years ago, almost exactly, and it's a treasure of mine. I love showing it off. And the quilt that I show sometimes has Guardians of the Sun on it as well. We're going to go into Happy Baby. If this is a big challenge for you, just see if you can start by grabbing ankles today. And that's where I'm going to kind of hang out. Just a little bit middle of the road. You know, if you've done yoga, you know exactly where you can go. And today, we're going to keep the right leg bent and straighten the left leg out. And then we're just going to change legs to straightening that leg out. And coming back into Happy Baby. If it feels good, we're going to rock a little side to side. This is a massage for the low back, so it should feel good. If it doesn't, stop it. All right, we're going to straighten the legs out, grabbing hamstrings or calves. You pick, just working on getting some length. All right, bringing our feet to the ground. Knees are bent, and I want you to just kind of do a little baby rock of the knees. I call them windshield wipers. You're just kind of pushing the knee away, pushing the knee away. Feet never leave the ground. And then bring the knees back up to the ceiling. We're going to reach out just for the right leg. Grab our hamstring, calf, or ankle, or even toe. Big toe with fingers. And we're pushing that heel away toward the ceiling. pulling this, using the hands to pull this knee even closer to the chest. And if it feels good, straighten the bottom leg out. If it doesn't feel good, coming back, you pick your level there. I'm going to stay right where I'm at. Find your breath. All right, bringing that leg down, connect the foot to the floor, and then we're just going to switch legs. If it's warm enough next week and the pollen's not bothering me as bad, today it's a lot better for me. I may do a class outside. Pressing that heel away and using these hands to pull the knee closer. Remember, you can straighten that bottom leg if you like. Bringing that foot back to the ground. We're going to go back to the windshield wipers today. There is some space between your feet. You can even take the feet out wider if you like, as wide as your mat. That bothers my hips for some reason, so I keep them wide, but not that wide. I'm a curvy girl, but not a very big person. Landing toward the left side with our knees, just kind of hang right there. If that feels like, oh gosh, I couldn't do any more, just kind of stay there. If you can, I want you to hook the left foot across that right leg just above the knee and use that foot to help kind of pull that leg closer to the floor. Breathe and really relax down through the right side body, the right hip area, and then see if you can look down the right arm. All right, bringing that leg back up. Get your feet planted. Find stability before you begin to rock the hips. And then we're just going to rock those hips side to side. You can make it as big or as small as you need to. And then when you're ready, landing to the right side of the body. We're going to hook the right foot across that left knee and use the foot to help pull the knee down to the floor. The left side body, even into the hip. We're just relaxing all of this. Looking down our left arm and breathing. I know all the introverts are not having a hard time of it. I'm an extroverted introvert, so I have good days and bad days. My extroverted son is really having a hard time with not having people, so we have all kinds of virtual things happening in this world. All right, bring those legs back up. And then we're just going to get into a position that you can relax in. If that's flat on your back, that's great. If that's not comfortable for you today, you can always curl up on your side, bend one knee, bend both knees, and teepee them together. Either way, come here. We're going to close our eyes and we're going to breathe. So taking a big breath in through the nose, open the mouth and audibly sigh. Big breath in and sigh. We want to get our mind into the right space. If anxiety has been an issue, maybe higher than normal, that does a lot of weird things to our body. And so I want to just take the time to very purposefully let go of the things that we can't control. And we're going to choose a state of acceptance today and the peace that comes with that. No, we can't change the orders to stay home. we can change, trying to not be okay with that. Today's the day where we're just going to choose to be okay with how everything is and just let go of those things. And then coming into what can we control today. And today, and this one day that we're not in yesterday and we're not in tomorrow, we can control being present. We can control our actions, our attitude. And those are the things that we are also going to accept. But that within all of this, there's a tremendous amount of letting go and peace. And so today, we're going to breathe in peace, and we're going to breathe out letting go. So focus on that breath, and then just trail down the body and see if you can find points of tension. Is your jaw relaxed? Is the back of the head on the floor so that your neck can relax? Your back connected to the floor? Are you allowing your hips to sink down? And you come back into breath in, peace. Breath out, letting go. And stay with that. To bring energy back to the breath. Taking a deeper breath in, bringing some movement into fingers and into toes. And what would feel good? Would it feel good to stretch out? Feel good to curl up on your side? And then ultimately, can you bring yourself into a seat and we'll come together? Just let your hands find your knees. And let's take a breath. Big breath in through the nose. And the mouth inside. Let's do that one more time. And sigh. Breathing out, letting go. Go ahead and open your eyes. Breathe in, bring your arms up. Bring hands to heart center. Namaste. You did a great job. Thank you so much for coming. I'm so glad that you were here.